Yeah, the state government's recently added a further shire, Quilpie, to the list of drought-affected shires within the state. That brings the total area affected up to close to 50%. The Commonwealth and state governments are currently reforming drought supports at a national level. They've recently agreed to a set of 5 measures and really improving or increasing the focus on preparedness for drought. Which AgForce supports wholeheartedly. We want to see industry being as resilient as possible. However, we don't believe the current suite of measures will be effective in the long term.
Rick Britton, Goodwood Station, Boulia. We have a beef production, mainly centre drought master cattle. We operate 400,000 acres in the Boulia Shire. One of the biggest issues that we have is our cash flow is really tight. So, we've still got to pay our leasehold land rentals and all those government charges, our registration going through the roof. Is there some way where property, if you want your drought declared even individually or a whole shire, is there an automatic concession where you can either pay half your rego or little things like that, just so that the cash flow stops going out? It seems to be that we have to pay all our rentals and all that. Then you can go and get money back off the government. It seems to be the man in the middle, the bureaucrat, is making and creating a job where we think there should be an automatic system put in there.
There's 2 issues with focusing on preparedness. The first is that we are expecting that we will encounter future droughts which will exceed the capacity of individuals to prepare for. So we'd like to see some in-event supports, particularly around farm household income. So currently the government's talking about restricting that to only 3 years in the life of a primary producer, which we think is unrealistic. And secondly, we'd like to see the inclusion of in-event business supports, which we did see in the previous package but have been dropped out of this current package. And those supports will really assist businesses in recovering from drought and returning back to positive cash flow. The governments have left the door open for re-evaluating the program and the measures that are available. We think in that bureaucratic process that there will be significant time lapse between when they look at those measures and make the decision that they are ineffective, and that will open up the risk that those ineffective supports will not be meeting the needs of primary producers and farming families in that period.
The effects for those farming families?
Those effects being ongoing hardship associated with drought, so social impacts and economic impacts.
Mate, if it doesn't rain, it's going to be very, very tough. We see, purchasing the place, we see that there is a light for the beef industry, the high Australian dollar, all that. We're exporting more and more beef out of our country. So I think that there is a silver lining for the beef industry long term.